Hi guys, this is Sydney. So in this video today, I'm gonna share with you some of the energies that I've been feeling the last 2 weeks leading up to Lionsgate, which was yesterday here in Kuala Lumpur on August 8th, and what that means, how it will affect you at this time, some of the channel messages that you may resonate, if you resonate with what I share with you, and some of the guidance on how you can utilize this energy best for yourself at this particular time. So what I saw in my visual and what I had been based on what I had been experiencing and tapping into was like this DJ working up the energy, working up the energy. What I mean by that is the energy has been building up, building up, building up, with the new light codes that were coming down. So every day we had intense light codes coming down, and we were building up energy, building up energy, building up. And this building up was momentum being created, where we are now moving out of the energy of fear, control, into the flow alignment state, which is in alignment with the age of Aquarius, and this fear control was in the age with the energy of age of Leo. And so this year's Leo energy has a significance in a sense that we are ending this huge chapter in the entire history of the earth that we've been living under, the age of Leo, and we are closing down that chapter. And what I mean by the age of Leo is that ending of that golden age of Atlantis, and we were going into the reincarnation cycle, and we had the ice age, and then we were living under authority, hierarchy, control, fear, patriarchal society, the wounded masculine, and all of that is ending as of this moment of 8/8. So this doesn't mean it's going to change everything, change everyone instantly from this point onward. It means symbolically and energetically that period, that chapter has been closed. That's what I got psychically from a channel message from the source. And so that period from the moment of 8/8 yesterday officially ended. That's what I got. And so we are now moving into the age of Aquarius, which opened. So the gateway has been opened up. And so what we were guided to do as the energy was building up, building up, building up, leading up to the Lion's Gate the past 2 weeks, was that we were allowed and we were given opportunity to release the fear, control, conditionings, and programmings that we've been living under in the age of Leo, that the entire humanity is affected by at this time. What you could have felt was a lot of resistance. And so, for example, you had some sort of a goal in mind that you wanted to get to, accomplish, or complete, because in your mind, in your belief, or in your assumption that when you finish that goal, it's going to take you somewhere further, better, and move you forward. So that was the idea, and that's why you were very much fixated on completing this goal, achieving this goal. But the more you try to push forward, the more you try to force it to complete, the more you were pulled back, was the energy that I got. So the reason being that is because the light codes were helping you to get into the state of flow and learning how to align your energy rather than constant efforting and constant controlling, constant doing. Because on a collective, we are healing deeply of not feeling good enough at this time. Very much allowing you or pushing you to go in and feel those wounds the past 2 weeks. So you could have felt some fatigue, some negative energy that was directed towards you, because there was a lot of projection in the collective shadow that I felt. A lot of unconscious souls are projecting the energies that were rising up due to the rising of the light codes. So as the light is intensified, usually it reveals the shadow or the darkness within. So it comes up to the surface. And when a person or a soul is unaware, or they don't know how to deal with it, meaning pretty much unconscious, they're not going to process this energy by reflecting and having the awareness as a result of it, but they're going to project it onto others because they need to release it somehow. So that was what was taking place in the collective. So you might have experienced random stranger or someone at your grocery store, like a clerk, that a person you were talking to at a shop. They might have brought some of the negative energy, meaning in a form of negative attitude or rudeness, or you might have witnessed a lot of child parents having not harmonious relationships, or you could be at a restaurant or a cafe and you experience a stranger interacting with you in a very passive aggressive manner. And so all those things could have happened in your reality randomly. And it's because of the shadow aspect that was rising up to the surface in the collective. So that energy is not you and it's not yours. And so you may still experience this because as the lights are intensifying, it is still going on. What you can do is whenever you notice someone having some sort of a negative attitude, instead of taking on that energy, meaning the moment you assume that they're doing this to me, simply means that you hold that vibration within because you still hold that belief. Because when you assume and when you think they're doing that, when that assumption is there, that means that energy is aligned. So you are aligning with the lower vibration because you hold that frequency within, simply meaning that it doesn't mean that you're good or bad. It's just that you need to release this energy at this time. So every time that comes up in your reality field, what you can do is you can thank the universe. Thank you for this opportunity for me to realize and feel these uncomfortable emotions so I can release them now forever. And so that's something that you can utilize or use affirmations with because the energy the portal is open. And basically what I saw was this gateway being opened, and a lot of the souls who did the work are now being crowned. That's what I saw. So I saw a lot of peacock as a spirit animal signs, along with other number patterns like 8899, 3377, a lot of 111 and 1111, 101, 144, 181, 188. So there was a lot of energy relating to spiritual awakening with new perspectives, and also the completion of a cycle. And specifically what I got was, if you are here right now, basically your soul chose to go through intense healing and rebirth. And I don't mean by just one intense healing and rebirth, but what I mean by that is you will go through so many of them in a short period of time. For example, you might have gone through death and rebirth, death and rebirth, death and rebirth 5-6 times just this year alone. You had to go through that intensity, and your soul chose this because this was an opportunity for your soul to clear all the karma that you've been accumulated being reincarnated or being chosen to come to the school of earth, because the earth holds a lot of karma. Once a soul signs a contract to come in here, unless you clear karma, you can't go to another planet. You have to come back to the earth, come back to the earth. That's why earth is a very difficult school on a spiritual level for souls. But your soul chose this, and you are invited to do this with Gaia at this time. So this is for those who may resonate with this message, who will be receptive to this. So that's why it will feel very intensive, and you might have thought, okay, I did a lot of clearing, I went through a lot of transformation, but I'm going through this something else again and again and again. And the reason why I share this, the intention behind for me, is that with this knowledge, I don't want you to get defeated, or don't want you to get too negative with the experience and stop doing the work. Because another channel message that came very strongly and repeatedly for me to share with you was that heaven helps those who help themselves. And there were two messages regarding this. One was that if you had been working with some sort of a mentor, a therapist, a psychic like me, that you were being given a lot of help, and they were bringing a lot of insights so you could work on yourself. But what you did instead was relying on this other person you were working with, rather than working with this knowledge and insights and reflect and doing the work on yourself. So if you've been doing that, what you were doing was you were using this other person to fix things for you, meaning transmute all your energies. Because as you share during, especially with my experience during one-on-one session, they share the stories, I tap into their past lives and what I see in the Akash, and then I will tell them what they need to do and how they need to heal. But after the session ends, usually they get a relief, because now they know. And so the soul, the higher self, told me that those souls, what they were doing was that they just satisfy their need to know. So they just satisfy their curiosity, and once it's been relieved and once it's been satisfied, they stop the work on themselves, because they're like, oh, I know this now. But that is the karma, because the karma is wanting to know, because you want to be in the know to control the situation of what's going on, instead of doing the work, meaning now you have this knowledge, I'm going to work on how I can incorporate this on a day-to-day basis and reflect on myself to come to your own realization with the information that you were given. So you were not doing the work, and you were using these people as the quick fixes for yourself. So if you've been doing that, the universe is telling you, like a little warning, a friendly reminder, I would say, that you need to now go in and reflect on yourself. You may still get these help, but you still have to do the work, is a strong message that is coming. Because you have to find your power within, and not to rely. And you have built this codependency in a way that is unique to you, because you needed to control the environment in order for you to survive. And one thing is that these people can be very, very smart, very analytical, very investigative, have a very curious mind. The Aquarius energy in their astrological natal chart, but they're not utilizing it for the age of Aquarius. That is for unique, authentic self-expression, the sovereignty, freedom within, and the uniqueness, the originality, the innovative side to their personality that they took on. But they're now using this only to satisfy their curious mind. And so that was one of the messages. And the other group was for you've been doing the work, you've been receiving help, and you've been working on your own, really self-reflecting on a regular basis, really honing in and focusing in and tuning into yourself. And you did a lot of work to release and to cut cords, cut ties from the past that required a lot of inner strength and inner courage. Even though you don't give yourself enough credit, you've done the work. And the message for this group was that the universe really wants you to continue on this healing journey, because it's not just healing yourself, but it's helping Gaia, helping Source, helping the entire universe at this time. So because of this, you're going to be rewarded. You are being seen and recognized, even though you don't feel like so in the physical reality on Earth right now. Universe is seeing you, energy is protecting you, angels are there, your spirit team is there protecting you. As you are transitioning, as you're going through death and rebirth many times right now. And especially yesterday, there was a surge of energy that was happening. So that's why, I mentioned the DJ building up the energy, and then boom, at the peak, everyone is jumping up and down. There was a huge release. So up to that point, what you may have experienced was a lot of inner child memories, or the past memories coming up to the surface, or communication with your parents or authority figures that triggered you in one way or another, that's relating to pleasing the authority figure specifically. And that's leading to fear of rejection and fear of abandonment in particular. That was the theme in the collective for inner child wound healing. And on a collective, if you've been working in the corporate world like I have, I've been in the corporate world for more than a decade, and as an insider, I've collected a lot of experiences and information working as part of the system. And that system is still very much operated in the age of Leo, where the CEO or the top leaders are being seen as more powerful than you are, and they act as if they know things better and they have something to teach you, and they have, I would say, the position power to control you, control your destiny. So we are still living in a powerless state, the fear state. And this is leading to not only pleasing habits, like you are becoming strong to the weak, weak to the strong. These power plays need to end, and that was coming up on a collective level from what I saw and experienced. And so with that, a lot of you may have felt like, if I don't please, if I don't live up to their expectations, if I don't be more and do more, I'm gonna be abandoned. You're gonna be left alone, and you're gonna be in a powerless state, and it scares you. That is the fear. And when you are in that fear, it triggers you to control so much, meaning what's gonna happen? I need to plan my future. I need to get things done. Why? Because that was the only way that you could secure your resources so you could survive in that environment. And now we are moving out of that age of Leo that was very dominant, meaning just before this age of Aquarius that we are going into, before Aquarius is age of Capricorn. But what I mean by age of Leo was when the golden age of Atlantis fell, and then we are going into a whole new cycle of reincarnation the Gaia was going through. And because of this, we had to go through that age of Leo cycle. And now we are moving into the age of sovereignty. And we have to align our energy to the state of flow. And so what I received was, in the new light codes, there was a lot of flowy energy that was very divine feminine, that was feeling the divine masculine, and also balancing out the divine masculine and the divine feminine and aligning in balance. That was the energy that I felt. And so if you have been working with or living under a lot of wounded masculine energy and wounded feminine energy, you are able to feel those things, the wounds, the pain, the past 2 weeks. Not as intensely, but constantly. And so on a physical level, you also have felt a lot of fatigue. It's like you wanted to get up early, start the day early, and then get things done, boom, 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 boom. But then you just couldn't. Your mind was hard to focus on your goal, or your body wasn't supporting. You didn't have enough energy to focus your mind. And also you could have like a brain fog, like you couldn't just see straight. You don't have the 20/20 vision, the clarity. It's like everything just had to stop, even though you didn't want to stop. So you had to go through this inner struggle, a lot of inner conflicts, and living inside the mind, and a lot of thoughts on the future. It's like, what am I gonna eat tomorrow morning? What am I gonna wear tomorrow? And how will I find this tomorrow? What should I do tomorrow? Like planning, doing things. And all of this was occupied in the mind, that you might have felt a lot of cloudiness in the brain, I would say, and some headache or the pressure in the crown chakra area, like a little bit of headache, not really intense, but just that really making you really hard to focus on something, that created a feeling of resistance. You wanted to control, but you cannot, or you wanted to get out of thoughts, but you're constantly thinking about what to do next, how to figure out the next, and worried about the next. So these were the themes. And these energies were building up, building up, building up with the new light codes that were revealing this energy for you to release on the 8/8. So on 8/8, what I felt was a huge surge of energy, the gate opening up, and then we were being released from this energy of resistance suddenly. And this only applies for those who did the work, of course, for the past 2 weeks, really reflecting, trying to surrender to this resistance, and trying to understand what this meant, and using self-affirmations to trust the spirit, trust the divine, and reflect, and just sleep a lot, meaning rest a lot, doing nothing a lot, because that was what was required of you if you tuned in intuitively. But if you were constantly operating with the mind, it's like, oh, I feel like I want to get some sleep, but no, I can't do that. If I do that, I don't want to be lazy. I made a plan that I'm going to wake up at 6 and drink like, I don't know, 3 cups of coffee and get things done. Push, push, push. So if you've been trying to control all this way through, then you might not have actually experienced this moment of opening up and releasing as intensely, because you were given the opportunity to surrender with this energy that were helping you to go into that divine feminine energy of flow, like a qigong. That was what I came, like a qi energy, like in Chinese it means energy flow. And so you've been resisting so much that you were holding on to that old patterning, old identity, because if you released it, you were going into fear. And we can have 2 choices. We could go into the unknown with fear, or we could go into the unknown with trust. And you chose to stay in the past by holding on. And so for those of you who are trying to trying to release, now you're finally being released and you are experiencing metamorphosis. So today I saw a lot of butterflies, different color butterflies, different types of butterflies, all of a sudden out of nowhere once again. And this could mean, if you've been seeing the butterflies, it could be a sign for you that you are going through a major metamorphosis, ending a huge chapter, but not just the entire book yet, but just one major chapter out of all the little chapters that you've been closing out. So you've been closing out a lot of little cycles, timelines, past timelines, parallel timelines, constantly. And then now you are finally closing out this big chapter. So that's what I also mean symbolically by building up the energy, building up. So the last 2 weeks had been like you were given this window of opportunity where you were able to process and doing the last bit of work to close out this cycle, this huge cycle. That was what I got specifically. This is for those who have done the work, okay? So with that, you might have had some of the distractions that were coming at you as an attack. So because what I saw in my dream time was that a lot of lower negative entities were hatching onto a lot of unconscious soul who were projecting, and they used those souls as vessels to attack you as a random stranger. So that was what I got. So one of the things that you can do when that happens, someone showing, giving you negative attitudes or, giving you negative energies, what you can do is, instead of assuming that is about you, you can simply read the energy. Oh, that person is really hurt right now. So that person is going through under a lot of stress right now. I can see that in their attitude. And then what you can do is something that I use is that I use a lot of telepathic communication. So what I would do is I would tell this person who I see is projecting the negative energy onto me. I would say, I see you now, I read your energy, and then I send blessing your way. I wish you healing, and then you leave. And immediately that person's energy shifts. They soften up. So it's something you can incorporate or practice if you resonate with this, of course, and that's what I do, and so I'm just sharing with this. Because it usually works for me. That's how I transmute energy for the collective to all the places that I go to. And also what you can do is I send healing and blessings to all the parents and children that I see, especially the parents who are still wounded and projecting their wound onto the child by mistreating the child. What you can do is you don't have to meander, try to fix them, get in their way, but from afar, just send loving energy. And then with your thought, telepathy, you can send blessings, or you can ask angels to bless their crown chakra, shed light onto the parents, so they change the way they treat the children. Okay, and sometimes I call in unicorns, dragons, to clear up the energy, and usually I associate unicorn energy with a lot of children, so I will call in the unicorns to touch their crown chakra, the parents' crown chakra, so the energy shifts. So this is something that you can do to transmute the energy. If you are a light worker, if you are here as an earth angel, energy generator, energy transmuter like me, this is something that you can do for the collective, but of course you don't have to, or you could have just been doing this naturally like me, because I just did it naturally without me realizing what I was doing. But then I later realized what I was doing. That was basically how it was for me. So You don't have to, but that's something that you can think about if you resonate. Okay. And one of the last things was that you are now ending this big cycle right now. So what you can do to utilize this 8-8 energy portal, and we're still having this energy up to the 12th, I believe, the 13th. And from what I tapped into this time compared to the last year's 8-8 energy portal is different in that sense. We are closing out the huge age of Leo chapter in the entire reincarnation cycle of the earth, because the Gaia came through, the source came through today with the blue avians that I'm working with, and they were transmuting, they were sending me some of the codes for healing the collective, or for the people who will be drawn to this video. So I immediately recorded a light language that was coming through, that was through Gaia and Source and the blue avians, and I literally had to stop in the middle of the road, and I had to go to the park and record what was coming out. So I'm gonna share that on a separate post video, and so you could watch it if you are drawn to it, because as you listen to it, what's going to happen is it's going to go into your cellular structure in your light body and will work it on its way, and so it will support you, and it will also create a protective bubble while you are transitioning, because as your light intensifies, there will be you will attract a lot of dark forces as well, even though you're still very much protected and in a safe place. So the blue avians came through to create this protective shell for me, and which I'm going to share with you. And so when you are in that bubble, you are safely able to transition from one realm to another, and you can use a lot of affirmation. So what you can do is you can relax your body and be in a meditative state. You don't always have to sit in a triangle pose like an Indian pose. What I do usually is, because our body is also going through an upgrade, it needs to stay in a very relaxed, resting, receptive state. So that's why we were feeling a lot of fatigue. So the universe has us sleep, rest, and be in their surrendering state. And so we were going through that, and what you can do is you can lie down in a comfortable chair or bed, and then do the deep breathing in and out to align your energy and center your energy. And as you do so, you are going to command your cellular body or different body parts where you feel some aches and pains, and tell them it's not necessary to feel pain. And connect your mind to that area of pain that you're feeling, the ache, and then send the energy and command that it's okay for you to relax. And the moment you command, your muscles will listen, your cells will listen, and they will begin to relax. And as you relax, what's going to happen is you're going to be in a state of receptivity. And when that happens, you can close your eyes and then simply just be, and then get into that state of deep theta state by counting 3, 2, 1, as if you're going deep and deep and deeper within. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, as if you're going down the stairway, going deeper and deeper. And at one point, you open a door and you're going to see whatever that memory comes and visions come is the area of wound that you are healing right now. So it could come in a form of a memory from your childhood, or from a specific point of time in your timeline that you experienced in this lifetime, or in another lifetime, or in parallel lives. And with that, what's going to happen is you're going to tap into that memory, and you're going to see this in your third eye vision. And when you see this vision, you're going to have a recognition. And once you see it, you don't have to do anything, and you can just fast forward as if zzz, like you're fast forwarding a tape or something, and then create the zip buzz sound, and then with that you close that out, zip. And as you do so, you walk out of that staircase going up and up and up, and now you can open your eyes. And as you do so, what is happening is with your recognition, you shed light onto that area of wounds, and you are releasing that. And after that, what you can do is take the time alone and write down the pain points that you've been feeling, reflecting, coming to the surface, and then write, I release forever this and this and this fear, this, and you can be very specific. So go into the meditative state, do the visualization to bring in the memory from the past, and then you can write down all the pain points, and then you can write down all the things that you want to release. And then, as a last resort, what you want to do is you want to write down what you envision, what you want to manifest, who you want to become, what you want to embody more, incorporate more into your life. And just by writing them down, because the energy is so powerful, is so potent right now, the gateway has been wide open. Instantly, it's clearing up. Instantly, it's helping you to manifest, meaning planting those seeds very, very strong. And one other thing to add that you can do to amplify this is to go out in nature and really ground your energy to that of the earth. Connect to the inner earth, stay barefoot, touch the tree, sit at the park, lie down, take a nap at the park, in the greens, wherever. You can swim in the ocean. And then just ground this energy and just intend to ground, and you don't have to do much. Just stay connected with this energy, as the earth will pull out all these energies that are no longer serving you in order for you to move on to that age of Aquarius, where you are going to be in a state of alignment, state of flow, rather than state of fear, control. And in order for you to do that, we had to look into where I feel not good enough. So where I feel like I had to pressure myself to do more and be more constantly, and release that energy, and then realign to that of the flow of the chi. And the Kuan Yin energy came in. Aphrodite energy came in that I've been working with. And so you could wear something pink, like a pink crystal. And then because it's the Leo energy, it's related to the solar plexus, but not just this area. We are healing the solar plexus, connecting to the heart, and then it's to the third eye. And it's going to naturally heal our throat chakra, where we can be our authentic self, express our authentic self, and be the authentic self. That is all about the age of Aquarius, being the unique self. That is the weirdo, the quirky self that is going to be normalized, because we are not going to label these things anymore, because you are who you are, and that is good enough, is the energy of the age of Aquarius. And so right now, what I'm feeling guided to do is, I was pulled to wear this pearl and this rose quartz ring. So I'm going to use this to quickly send this energy to your fields. Kuan Yin is supporting, the dragon of Kuan Yin is supporting right now with the energy.
He was just like a mess, and I was just like, oh my goodness, Ron, what is happening?
And then you can incorporate healthier diets where you can eat a lot of green vegetables or yellow vegetables, but you always want to tune into yourself first, listen for yourself. Whatever that you are pulled to intuitively is the energy that you need. So you, like for example, today I always pick my outfits, colors intuitively based on the energy that I tap into the moment I wake up. So that's something that you can incorporate in order for you to be supportive with the energy at this time. So I hope this message helps you, and I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.